Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm skating the BWI Trail, which is also known as the Baltimore-Washington International Trail. This trail encompasses the BWI Airport, which is also known as the Baltimore-Washington International Airport. Okay, so, since this is my first narrated video, I thought I'd introduce and explain my channel a little bit. My original intention with this channel was to do trail skates in the DMV area. That's Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia for those who don't live here. And that's in the United States for those who really don't live here. And I wanted to do trail skates so that other skaters, or those who were thinking about skating around this area, could see what options were out here. I know when I got back into inline skating 8 years ago for fitness, I was always trying to find new and better trails to skate. One exceptional resource for this was traillink.com, which has all kinds of trails and actually allows you to filter trails by activity, one such activity being inline skating. So I'd recommend that site first, as the vast majority of the trails I've skated are listed on there, but there's also one or two trails I skate that are not on the site that I plan to feature here eventually. While the website is a great starting point in that it allows you to specifically find trails that are skate friendly, most of the trail reviews are from bikers, runners, and walkers since, admittedly, there are far fewer skaters out there. So my original intention was to showcase these trails as a skater for other skaters. If it helps more people get out there and skate, then it'll have been a worthwhile effort. If it ends up that no one cares, well, doing these videos still gives me even more motivation to get out there and skate, which is a plus, so I'm fine with it either way. I say trail skating was my original intention for this channel, and that's because even before I got a camera to make these videos, I became inspired by Bill Stoppard of Pinto Pony Productions to start city skating, or in my case, suburban skating. I've still got a lot of work to do on my urban skating, but I hope to have more videos up as I progress, so that should add a little variety to the channel. I do already have a simple suburban skate video up, and hopefully more will follow. Anyway, enough introduction already. Let's get back to the trail skate. So this is the BWI Trail? Yeah, there we go. So this trail is 11 miles long, and is basically just a big square around the airport. So if you do the math, that's approximately 2.7 miles per side. The fact the trail is a loop is one of the best things about it, as most other trails are going to be straightish lines that you have to skate back and forth. With this trail, you can skate the whole trail one way, and be right back where you started, so it doesn't get as boring as easily. The trail is very adequately marked with signage at any kind of split or intersection, and yet I still managed to make a wrong turn, or rather, didn't make a turn when I should have, and ended up going over a bridge that led away from the trail. After checking the map and realizing this though, I was able to get back onto the trail pretty easily. For the most part, the trail follows alongside busy roadways and doesn't provide too much to look at. There are brief sections that take you away from the road, taking you through woods at the southern end and through fields in the northern end. And at some points you'll have aircraft flying pretty low above you, which is kinda cool. At 11 miles, the trail is a good distance for fitness skaters who want a workout, as it's sort of in the mid-range when it comes to distance. I usually try to go 20 miles or more when I have the time to dedicate to a longer trail, so for this one I could always just go around twice and double the workout. But for a lot of people, the 11 miles will be enough. Speaking of workout, this trail is mildly hilly pretty much the whole time, with gradual inclines and declines for much of the trail. And then there are a few large hills that require more effort. I skated the trail going clockwise, so the biggest hills by far to climb were in the northmost section of the square, but this is also the most scenic section. If I were to skate it again, I'd probably go the other direction so as to skate downhill through the most scenic area. But going uphill does allow more time to take in the scenery, so it's up to you. The choice is there. In addition to hills, there are also many crosswalks, as you can see. For the most part though, these are set across minor roads, and there are only a few crosswalks that might require you to wait for a traffic light, thus killing your momentum. But for the most part, there are long stretches of unimpeded asphalt. The trail surface varies quite a bit. There are sections of really smooth new pavement, and then some rough areas, but the rough areas are mainly when crossing some of the roads, where the roads are really uneven and rough. So the trail smoothness is pretty average overall, but some of the roads you have to cross are not in good shape at all. In addition to a couple rough patches of asphalt, there are also a good number of wooden bridges, most of them short, and then a couple decently long ones. And the planks on some of these are really starting to crack and split. This one in particular was really bad, and I would not recommend falling while crossing it. I wouldn't really ever recommend falling, but here especially, unless you happen to like splinters and such. Otherwise, not very fun. As for traffic on the trail, there wasn't much. Not sure if it's because it was a chilly day that day or what, but there were only a handful of both bikers and pedestrians, and I mainly saw them on the brief sections of trail that divert away from the roadways. There's also an observation area for landing planes on the southern section of the trail, and I saw more people here than anywhere else on the trail, and it serves as a good spot to rest if need be. Speaking of rest, there are plenty of benches located along the trail as well, for resting. As I said before, the northern section of the trail is the most scenic, taking you through hilly farmland and horse grazing areas. There was also an odd statue just sitting beside the trail, being odd. So that's fun, right? Anyway, that's basically the BWI Trail in a nutshell. If I had to rate this trail, I probably wouldn't give it too much thought, but rather come up with a somewhat arbitrary number based on my own opinion. And if you ask me, that number would be, let's say, a 10 out of 15. It's a decent trail to skate and has some nice sections, but also some rough areas that will give more novice skaters a more difficult time. I would probably skate this trail again if it were closer to me, but seeing as I have more enjoyable trails nearby, I doubt I will visit this one again anytime soon. For those who already live in the area, it's a good choice, but there are better options as you get closer to DC and Virginia. So that's it for this trail. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, and I hope to have more skating videos up very soon. Thanks for watching. Later, skaters.